There is nothing like last minute your husband telling you that there is a holiday party. It's enough to try to figure out what to wear, right? But now you have to figure out what you're gonna do with your hair and makeup. So this is not it, but this is. So this is gonna be your holiday makeup, whether you do have something planned with the family or it is a holiday work party that you're looking to go from day to night in. This is a very good look, especially if you can't figure out what to wear, at least play up your face. And my grandmother always told me, you can wear a $1,000 dress, but if your hair doesn't look good, you just can't swing it, honey. And added to that, we'll add your makeup as well. Remember that. But I hope you guys do enjoy this tutorial. And again, I always say it, but subscribe, give it a thumbs up, and if there's anything that you want to see, please comment, and I will take care of that for you. And keep in mind, before I start all this, I will be doing a hair tutorial, so keep an eye out for that, guys. All right, hope you enjoy. Okay, I cannot tell you how excited I am for this palette. I mean, look at these colors. What? Oh my God, I cannot wait. So, I already do have my foundation on and my concealer. So I'm just gonna go in with my eyeshadow primer. I feel like this is a very important step that like most people tend to skip on, but for me it's like a necessity because without failure, if I don't do it, I have the worst crease lines. And I feel like that's like a common problem with most people. Like anytime someone's ever asked me anything about makeup, the first question is, how do you get it to not crease? And I very simply just ask them if they use an eyeshadow primer. And most of the time it's no. So make sure you're always using one because it's gonna settle in those creases for you. And then when you go ahead and apply a powder over top of it, it sets in there, and that way you're avoiding a lot of those crease lines that we all tend to hate. Okay friends, so first I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna take a little bit, it looks more white on this camera, but it's more of a really light nude tone. And I'm just gonna go in all through my lid. And this is a Morphe brush, it doesn't have a number on it. But I'm just gonna go in and do the entire lid as well as the inside of my eye. Then I'm gonna go in with this like orangey tone. And I'm gonna go in through the crease and bringing it up just slightly. Taking the same brush, I tend to use like the same brush, if not maybe like 2 or 3 brushes during my entire eyeshadow application. But I tend to stick to the same brush because I like the little bit of residue left over and it really gets me a nice blend. So then I'm gonna go in with a little bit, let's do a little bit of this red tone, and I'm gonna mix it with a little bit more of this, it's like a brown red tone. And I'm gonna work my way from the outside. And I'm just going in short motions, somewhat circular motions, and I'm just gonna work my way in. And I'm in love with this color right now. And I'm just gonna push it right in my crease. If you don't have a crease, you can make one, but I'm just gonna push it right in my crease and then just slowly in circular motions work my way up, but keeping it more towards the outer edge. And I know I just said that I only use one brush, but I'm gonna go in with this brush. It's a little bit smaller, so I'm gonna be able to really gravitate towards this corner. So I'm gonna grab this darker tone in here, and again, you can use any palette you want. This is just the palette that I just got, so I'm so excited. I'm gonna mix it again with a little bit of that red tone. And I love mixing colors. I mean, I love using colors as they are to see the true pigment, but there is nothing like a good blend. Now right now it seems a little harsh, but I will go back in and blend it out. Now I'm going to take my big brush that I was using earlier and going in circular motions, blending everything out. And while I'm blending, I'm keeping everything more towards the outer end. I'm not trying to push anything too far in. I'm almost going, what is this? Whatever, I don't know, whatever mission this is, I can't think right now. Clockwise, clockwise. Jesus. I'll be okay. Now I'm going to go in and do something fun. So I'm going to go in with a little bit more of this golden tone, and this is the smaller brush that I used. And I'm going to grab a little bit of, they're both in the golden shade, but one's darker than the other. And I'm going to take it and I'm going to go right into where I put my initial skin tone color. And I'm just going to go right into that center area. Now I'm just taking a little bit more of that light color and I'm mixing it with this top, more of a champagne-y tone. And I'm going to layer right over top of that as well, pushing it more into the corner this time. Now I'm going to take the same small brush, I do layer my eyeshadow a lot, and I'm going to go in with this darker tone right here, it's more of a brown. And I'm going to keep it real low on the lash line, but I'm again keeping everything towards the outer corner. And then I'm going to go in circular motions and blend it back up. But I really want it to be deep on the outer corners. Now I'm going to take a little bit of my red tone and mix it with a little bit of sparkle, just on the outer corner. And I'm just going to go right over top of that brown area just to add dimension and depth. And I'm more or less kind of just dabbing it on there. Now I'm going to take the same brush and with a lighter brown tone right in the middle, and I'm just going to focus right in that crease. It seems like a lot that I'm piling on, but I like the way the brown covers the red and then another red tone covers the brown. When you're layering makeup on like this, you're going to have a lot of dimension and it's going to blend a lot better as opposed to just doing one or two tones. Especially for more of a glammed up look. Like, it actually calls for more depth, in my opinion. Now I'm going to take my chisel brush. I'm going to go in with my dark brown again. And keeping it more towards the outside. Again, we kept all the darker colors towards the outside of our eye. I'm just going to take it on the outside of my eye. It's okay if this comes up a little bit higher towards the end, because then you can just take your same chisel brush and bring it right back in. If you're a cat eye kind of person where you like that more of a wing liner, this is perfect. I am not a wing liner kind of girl, just on myself. I've tried it and tried it and tried it, and it's just not for me. So I always kind of go this route because that way I don't have to actually try to fake it anymore. And it just complements my eye shape a lot better. And I'm almost flicking it right back into the top part of my eye. So I'm just kind of pushing it back in. Then I'm going to take my small little brush Where is that red that I used? I'm going to go in with a little bit of that Ready Burnt and a little bit the other red tone that I mixed. I'm going to go right over top of it and coming a little bit more towards the inside of my eye. Not too far, but more towards the inside. It's okay if you bring it down a little bit more because it softens that line up and it adds more depth to the underneath of your eye. Lately I've been loving like a red, real warm and rich and actually even purple tones in my eye makeup, which is so not like me, but I've been loving the look lately, and I've been going a little bit bolder with my eyes, which I've been getting more compliments, so I think that's why I just keep doing it. So then I'm going to go in with more of the champagne tone, and I'm going to mix it with our lighter. I wish it didn't look so white, but it looks white, but it's more like a nude tone, like a flesh tone. I'm going to mix them together, and I'm just going to push it right on the inside of my eye. And then just very lightly push it out. Now I will also be using, which I've been using for a while, the Melissa Michelle palette, and this gold tone speaks to me on so many levels, especially for holiday makeup. So I'm just going to grab a little bit of this gold tone and just add a little bit more oomph to it. And I'm going to take the lighter champagne tone because it just has a little bit more sparkle. And just push it just in that inner corner. And then I'm pushing it down. So I will be using, for my mascara, just a light coat of mascara before I put on my lashes. If you are not a lash person, that is okay. You can go on with your liner and then do your mascara. I am doing a glammed up look, and it is unlike me to not wear lashes, especially when I'm working or just even, let's face it, I wear lashes like every day. It's just, that's my thing. Everyone's got their thing, and that's mine. So I'm just gonna go in with a little bit, this is by Merle Norman. It is Fat Lash, Wicked Lash Mascara in color black. So I'm just going to do a very light coat. I actually really like this mascara. I also like Fat Lash. That's probably why I said that first. Now underneath on my inner liner, I am totally a fan of lining the inside of your eye with either a white or a nude tone. I love doing a nude tone just on myself, just out of preference. So I'm just going to go in my waterline. Alright, now I'm going to apply my lashes. I am not going to go step by step on this. I do have a video I will be posting on this. So I'm just going to pop them on, and then I'll be back and I will do the rest. So now I have my lashes on. I'm just going to go in with a little bit of a black gel liner just over top. I know this is like horrible to watch me pull my eye back like this for some people, but I have to. I'm going to go right over and fill right over where I just put that false lash. That way we're closing off any seams over the top. Alright, so then I'm going to bake my makeup on using, I don't know what it is about this. I haven't had a good setting powder in a while, and I am just like obsessed with the Merle Norman translucent powder. It's the Flawless Effects loose powder. So it does come in different pigments, but I like the translucent. So I'm just going to take my Morphe brush in E2. I'm just gonna set all my liquid foundation. Then I'm gonna go in with my wet sponge, just dabbing the top of my lid where I already have my powder. And I'm just gonna set that real quick. Now one trick I have started doing is I've been using my setting spray and doing it that way. It does take a little bit longer to dry, but I love how long it lasts. Normally with me using water, it does last, like using like a wet sponge. But when you put it on with the setting spray, sometimes like right here you can't see a lot of it. But when it dries, let me tell you, honey, it is on there. So, and I had a runny nose like at some point last week, and I went ahead and just took a little bit of powder like under here, just because I have a runny nose now. I just took a little bit of powder underneath there. I look like I'm on drugs, but I set it on there, and let me tell you, I don't know why I didn't think to do it earlier, like in the day, but whatevs. I decided to do it, and it did not budge. It didn't even move. So, if I really, like for a night out, because we are doing more of a glammed up look, for a night out, don't go like this, but if you know that you're gonna go somewhere, or if you have like a runny nose and you're constantly like wiping at it, just set it. Just set it. I'm like a fan of setting it anyway, but just set like by your nose, because we tend to, as women, be hormonal, and sometimes in through our nose area, especially during cold season and flu season, our noses do tend to get red from us rubbing it. So it does help. It's not like the holy grail of solutions, but it does help if you set it with a little bit of powder, because that is like the one spot for me that is like notorious, especially like in through here. But right here is the one spot for me where I'm constantly just losing my makeup, because my nose is like between allergy season and when I had a cold, it is like just gone. So while I'm waiting for that to set, I'm just gonna go in real lightly underneath with a little bit of contouring. This is in shade Nutmeg. This is by Merle Norman. It is their Ultra Powder Foundation, but you can use a contouring palette or a contouring color. I like this because I like the warmth that I have in it, especially because I always tend to do a little bit something warm, warmer on my eyes. I like doing something warm on my cheeks. And with my skin tone, if I go too cool on my contour, it tends to look very muddy on me, and it's not flattering. But I'm keeping most of my contour in through my hairline. If you're watching, I'm going in circular motions, and then whatever excess of product is left, I'm just barely going in, and I'm staying underneath my baking. You can see very two distinct lines, but that will all blend out. And sometimes I even like go in by my ears, because the last thing you want to see is like, especially if you decide to pull your hair back, is like boom boom, like two very distinct colors. It's like a dead giveaway. And I'm just pushing this up into my hairline. I always say it in like every video, like I literally have an 8 head, so I try to minimize it. I'm gonna go in with this Morphe brush, and I'm just gonna lightly contour the sides of my nose a little bit. I broke my nose back in like 11th grade, and just like you can't see it on camera, but like it gets a little fatter in through here, and I feel like it's so common for most people, but I cannot stand it, and I can't breathe out of one side, so that sucks too. Like anytime someone like tried to throw me in the pool after I broke my nose, I would like freak out because I knew I wouldn't be able to breathe. It's horrible. Don't get any ideas, guys. Alright, so now that I've let my baking set on, I'm just going to take my big old powder brush and I'm just going to lightly blend all that out underneath my nose as well. Now I'm going to go in with my Merle Norman bronzing powder. I like that this doesn't have any shimmer to it, but it's enough of that middle tone where it's going to kind of blur a little bit of that line between our contour and our, what eventually will be our highlight. So I'm just going to use, this is my It Cosmetic brush. I don't see a number or anything on it, but I really like it. It's super, super soft. And I love the way it blurs out like everything. Like it's so easy to blend with this thing. When I'm doing my forehead, I'm keeping this area very much isolated. Like I'm working around it and I'm going in circular motions, but I'm not going right on there because I want to keep that area more highlighted. So it's going to draw everything into the face. Now I'm going to use my blush. This is by Sephora and it's called Sweet On You. I'm going to take the same brush I did my bronzer with because I just really like how it blurs everything out. Now that I took off my setting powder, I'm going to go underneath my nose and then the very top part to make it look like a little button nose because I don't got a button nose. Got a broken nose, not a button nose. If it looks like I'm looking like off to the side, it's because my camera battery is currently charging and I was so excited to use my new makeup palette that I like didn't even care. So I'm on my phone right now. So that's fine. I'm trying to pay attention, but I'm a little ADD right now. So then I'm gonna go in with my Morphe highlighting palette that's on its last leg. And I'm gonna stick to more of the golden tones. So I'm gonna mix this middle tone with a lighter golden tone. There's just something about this highlighting powder. Like, I mean, I'm sure like I can find other ones that are amazing, but I always by default just end up back to this one. I don't know what it is. I'm gonna go in and I just take the same color, sticking more to the lighter one, and I always just go to the tip of my nose and the Cupid's bow on my lips. I'm going to take this small little brush that I used earlier for the inner corners and I'm just going to dab a little bit of the lighter tone and I'm just going to go right on the arch of my eyebrow. I'm not going too low, I'm literally just going like directly underneath, if you can see that. And the reason I do above my lip, or if you see anybody do above their lip and you're like, why are they doing it? That's weird. I do it because anything with highlight, you want to accentuate those parts of your face. So I go in and do it, and then when I go in with like a darker lip or whatever the case is, it does draw attention to my lip, making them appear bigger without having them done. You're welcome. So this is actually just a red that I picked up. This is the, I normally use my Lip Pencil Plus by Merle Norman. But I can't find my red color. So I'm going to go in with the Ulta Lip Matte Cream. I'm like hit or miss with matte tones, but So there you have it, our finished look. But we cannot forget setting spray. This is going to help make it last all night. Hopefully, alright, now I'm gonna get there. Woo. So, that is our finished look. I hope you guys enjoy it. Don't feel like you have to do such a dark lip. You can definitely go in with a more bright lip that is more festive, but I like doing a darker lip because it makes my teeth look whiter, and I like it because it definitely adds more drama to, in my opinion, to the look. But I hope you guys enjoy. I will be doing a holiday hair tutorial, so stay tuned for that. It's just, I put my son to bed and I don't have time to do all of it. So, I hope you guys enjoy. Stay tuned for more. Bye, guys.